I often think about the things I've lost, probably too often to be quite honest. And the one that keeps coming back to me over and over and over again is what I lost in high school. I was a wrestler in middle school, and at first I wasn't too good at it, but I was average. But my eighth grade year, I kind of fell into it. I understood it, began to understand it naturally, and I loved it wholeheartedly. It was is what I looked forward to it. I didn't want to be in class. I just wanted to be wrestling all the time. I lived for the practices, and I couldn't wait to get to them. I just wanted to get out of class and go to wrestling practice. I lived for the matches. I lived for the rush and the adrenaline before, looking up your opponent and seeing, trying to find him across the mat. I mean, like, okay, I'm wrestling that guy, and wrestling with the fear in yourself before you step onto that mat and go duke it out. I was addicted to that wholeheartedly, um, and I was good at it. I was really really good at it. My eighth grade year, I was undefeated, and going into my freshman year in high school, I lost everything on the football field. Um, I dislocated my shoulder, and it just became a reoccurring injury all the way through high school. Even when I tried to start over in wrestling and get back into it, I hurt my shoulder more, and it forced me to pretty much accept that I could never wrestle again. And I didn't because I was too. I didn't know that I could skip football, and that's what hurts. Um, I just didn't know. I didn't know that I could be a wrestler. That I didn't have to play football, and so it's hard. I was at state a couple years back, and my old wrestling coach, he passed me on the shoulder and said, "Dude, if it wasn't for your shoulder, you could have been a three timer." And I don't want to hear that. I, I don't want to hear how good I could have been because I know what I lost. It just reiterates what I lost, and it stings. It still stings, and I'm out of high school by a couple of years, and it's I still look back going, damn it. I wish, I wish I had just wrestled. I wish I had just skipped football, because all my injuries that I had were from football. I don't think there's a more gut wrenching pain than having your dream forcefully ripped from you. That was what my shoulder injuries were like. Every time I re-injured it, I lost my dream a little bit more of wrestling. I lost the ability to be able to go out onto the mat and test myself, and that was the biggest pain. And so now, a couple years out, I look on it bittersweetly because I know somehow that I would have been arrogant if I had won state three times or even less two. That I would have been arrogant. That I would have been an asshole if I had won those things. So maybe it was a blessing that I got hurt, but it's still it still hurts today that I wasn't able to do it, that I wasn't able to wrestle. When I reflect on my pain now and my loss, it's it still hurts, but it's lessened. I've learned from it, so to speak. It's become it pushed me in the right direction, um, and if anything, it has informed my writing because I still dream of it. I still wish I could have done it, but now I can put it into my writing. And now when I'm writing a fight scene, I know all the ins and outs, and I'm pretty much putting my brain and my thought process onto the page, and that has been a gift. Um, but I also think something else I gained was writing stories. Because I was in so much pain, I had to turn to something to kind of vent it. Um, and I found that in stories, and I've put myself into stories so much. And if I had been the wrestler I, I still wish I could have been, I wouldn't have had that. I wouldn't have become the writer I am today. I wouldn't have even bothered writing. Um, I probably would have gone to college to wrestle some more, and never would have touched a keyboard. So while it's easy to wallow in our pain and misfortunes, I think that the wise thing to do is look at it from another angle and go, damn, okay, that hurt, that sucked. Um, but where is this pushing me now? Because yeah, you can look back all you want, but there's nothing back there anymore. It's what's done. You have to look ahead. You have to be in the present and push yourself towards the future. Um, I suck at it still. I still look back, but I'm practicing not doing that anymore. I'm practicing living where I am and thinking about where I need to go. The unfortunate part about that, though, is that for me to think this way, I had to be hurt for it to happen first. I would have never thought that way if things had worked perfectly. Uh, as I reflect, I'm learning that this was supposed to happen, and that may sound terrible. That that the tragedies of life are destined. It's kind of a pessimistic point of view, but um, I don't think it's fully that way because a doctor can't heal a healthy person. They can only heal a broken person. And it's just as we can't improve if we aren't hurt. Um, Something has to push us, and unfortunately, that is usually pain. Um, and that's what I'm coming to understand and learn. Um, that all the things that have hurt me have made me a better person. And I think that's the key goal here, or the key lesson. That, yeah, things suck, and all of our pains could be different, but we're each getting something else out of them. And I think instead of turning from it and running from our pain, it's better to face it and work through it. And usually that's hard. That's a hard thing to do. It's easier just to open a bottle and just drink, or to turn on TV and watch something, or just start scrolling on reels. It's so much easier to do that instead of just sitting and thinking about, man, I hurt. I'm in pain. It's easier to just cover that up, but we can't allow it. It doesn't allow any growth if we cover it up. We have to push. And that's that's the worst part, because pushing through it sucks more than the pain itself, because you have to hurt yourself more sometimes to get out of it. When when I hurt my when I tore my ACL, I had to go do a lot of rehab and a lot of therapy. And one of the therapies was this little machine with this head, and they would apply it to where the pain was, and it'd start clicking, and they would turn it up. And as they turned it up, the pain in that area would get way, 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 way worse, and to the point where you're in extreme pain and you could pass out if you lose focus for a moment. At least for me. Um, but you're stuck on this table with this machine for about 15 minutes, and it's the worst 15 minutes of your life. You're in pain. But once you get off that table, you feel better. It's a noticeable change. Um, and I think that's the lesson, is that we have to hurt to get better, and that each little 15-minute session of hurt helps us heal. And so with that, I end this video. This is the first reflection. There will be more. My next video is probably going to be something a little more lighthearted. I just felt this needed to be said. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and be well.